Hello there, I'm Jonathan Philm, and welcome to the Strode Show with me, Jonathan Philm. Lovely. Today we have a distressingly large show for you, so prepare your minds and strap yourselves into your sofas. Today we are covering all things film, such as mind-bending trivia and an overview of the cinema of 2020. Sharing with us their meaningless opinions will be our two guests, Ollie and Rory. Please sit down. Would you care to introduce yourselves?
I'm Ollie.
I'm Rory.
Very good. Sit down. Okay then. So, why on earth are you interested in film?
It's fun. It's quite good.
And you?
I just like to watch them.
No, very good answer. So, what would you say is the biggest film you've ever seen?
Over the Hedge.
Yes, I see where you're coming from there, but what's the biggest film, young man?
What?
Any film? Name a film. What's the biggest film?
Shark Tale.
Yeah, that one.
I don't think you're quite catching my drift. Anyway, moving on. So, have you ever made a film?
No.
Poured your heart and soul into one?
No.
You haven't? No, what a shame. If you were, humour me, would you ever, if you were going to make a film, make it a big one?
I've tried the best I can to make it a big film.
And you?
I don't think I would, no. No, I'd put no effort into that.
Well, sometimes not trying to make a big film is the way to make the biggest film of all.
I don't think so.
You wouldn't. Never mind then. And now, for a change of pace, some facts. These facts are about the impact of music in film and TV, brought to you by Matthew Butler. Well, I hope you all found that to be as efficacious as I did. Now then, so far on the show, we've figured out the twisted reasons behind our guests' obsession with film. But how much do they actually know? In this round, I will ask one of you a question, and you will have until I've decided that you've taken too long to answer. At that point, it will go on to the next contestant to try and answer, and if none of you get the question right, I will be very sad. At the end, we will tally up the scores and see who has proven themselves as a worthy film fan and who has insulted my very integrity as a filmmaker. So, I've had my philmlings chemically formulate some of the hardest film questions known to man. Let's see how they do. Question number 1. In Monsters, Inc., what does the company produce using frightened children? Is it A, fossil fuels, B, entertainment, C, power, or D, motivation for their employees? Rory.
C.
Power. That is correct. Well done. Question number 2. What is the day job of popular character Indiana Jones? Is it A, a mathematics teacher, B, an accountant, C, a stuntman, or D, an archaeology professor? Ollie.
D.
Archaeology professor.
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
I am.
Sit down, young man! You are correct. Well done. When you adjust for inflation, what is the highest grossing film of all time? Is it A, Psycho, B, still Avengers Endgame, D, The Godfather, or C, Gone with the Wind?
B.
B, Avengers Endgame.
Yes.
Wrong! It's wrong! You got it wrong! I'm very disappointed in you, Ollie. Would you like a go?
D.
Ollie! I'm deeply saddened, young man. It is not The Godfather. It was C, Gone with the Wind. No points for anybody. Question number 4. In the 2002 film Spider-Man, how many takes did it take Tobey Maguire, that handsome chap there, to catch all the things on the tray? Was it A, 23, B, 57, C, 156, or D, 203?
B?
57.
Yeah.
Do you think it was 57? You think it was 57?
I don't think very coordinated.
It was not correct, young man. Rory, would you like a go?
I think it's D.
Wrong! It was wrong. It was 156. He's not that bad, but he was not very fast either. Question number 5. for shooting on top of a mountain when filming The Fellowship of the Ring, how did Sean Bean decide to get to set? Was it A, via a helicopter? B, he scaled the side of the mountain? C, rode on horseback? D, went on a ski lift?
A.
Wrong! He did not go in a helicopter. Ollie?
Was it D?
D?
Yeah.
A ski lift?
Yeah.
No! It was not a ski lift. Anyway, moving along. Number 7. At the end of the black and white film Casablanca, what colour is the aeroplane? I'm really having trouble with this one. I don't
White.
know what colour it is. What?
White.
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 Sure, whatever. It's probably correct. There's no way of telling. There's one more point for Rory. Right, number 8. Which actor played the 8th Doctor in 1996's masterpiece, Doctor Who? Was it A, Paul McGann, B, Christopher Eccleston, C, award-winning film industry legend Jonathan Philm, or D, Colin Baker?
I desperately want to believe it was you, but I'm going to go A.
A, Paul McGann?
Yeah.
This man behind the mystery, Paul McGann. Correct! Well done, bringing you level. Question number 9. Which band created and performed the soundtrack to Flash Gordon? Was it A, Queen, B, The Beatles, C, The Killers, or D, The Red Hot Chili Peppers? Rory.
A.
It was A, Queen. Correct! Well done. You are no longer a failure in my eyes. What was the first film to feature a flushing toilet? That great moment in cinema history. Was it A, The Wizard of Oz, B, Citizen Kane, C, Psycho, or D, The Film Zone, written, produced and directed by legendary film icon Jonathan Philm?
C.
C,
C.
Psycho. Have you won this point?
Probably not.
You have, well done, it was Psycho. That Psycho had a flushing toilet. Very good, well done. And now for a bonus round. In the 2017 Oscar-nominated film Boss Baby. Where did... Right, we've run out of time. Let's see which one of these so-called film fans has proven their worth to me. And I can tell you, beloved viewers, our winner with 4 points is my son Rory.
Oh my God.
And so Ollie, my disappointment is immeasurable. And you must now face my wrath. Young man. Get out! 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 Rory,
Yeah.
well done, my boy. You've won this DVD copy of Jordan Peele's Get Out that I stole from the lighting director. Well done.
Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And now for some more facts. These facts are about amateur filmmaking in lockdown, brought to you by Azra Hinton. Well, wasn't that simply riveting? Now that our guests have been evacuated, please allow me to talk for a moment. This has been a vexing year for the film industry, and I have some very strong opinions to share about it. This year has been a massive, massive inconvenience. For me, I was this close to starting production on another autobiographical biopic, but then all this death business got in the way of my fun, and now I'm stuck making this accursed program. I am fuming. But there is good news. At long last, the cinemas are closing down. Rejoice, no doubt as a divine punishment for neglecting my work these past 60 years. And so many films by so-called talented filmmakers are being delayed, leaving people more time to watch my films, such as The Film Zone, now available to buy on VHS at jonathanphilm.web.uk. I mean, who really wants to watch the latest attempt to milk some more money out of the hobbling franchise that is James Bond? We get it, James. You can drive a car. You can do parkour. You can shoot a gun. Sit down, young man. I never liked him anyway. And let's not forget about all the other franchises. Black Widow was ripe and ready to come out this year, but of course it was delayed, meaning that for the first time since 2009, no Marvel film has come out this year. Now listen, I haven't actually seen any of these films, but I came this close to making one. Pre-production was well underway, but then I learned that a certain Mr. Cumberbatch would be working on the project, and I simply refuse to work with that. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, to summarize this segment, many people are suffering this year, but most importantly, I'm suffering. So please, help me pay off my fines by purchasing The Film Zone, available now at jonathanphilm.wav.uk, coming soon on Laserdisc. While you're entering your card details, please enjoy this final round of facts. These facts are about the history of early film and cinema, brought to you by Leanne Forbes. Welcome back, my children, to yet more of the Strode Show with me, Jonathan Philm. For the next several minutes, we will hear the opinions of my esteemed philmlings, who have given me a list of films they think are very, very good. And I'm going to tell you why they're wrong. Also, we are running very short on time, so it torments my very skin to inform you that I must limit my rendition of their opinions to only a few moments each. So, first, we have a submission from our production manager, who has chosen the film Dunkirk. She says, I like the realism and how they've managed to make a compelling narrative out of the event by focusing on a few central characters out of what is normally a very large event. Now, I had a little watch of Dunkirk, and I made a few notes. Firstly, Harold Styles. Who let him in this film? Why is he there? On the boat? Never mind. The main problem I have is I was in Dunkirk. I fought in the war. I did. You may not believe it, but I did. And that is absolutely not what happened. Christopher Nolan, I am very disappointed in you. Next, we have a submission from our lighting director, who has chosen the film Blade Runner 2049. 2004. They've made 2000 and... Good Lord. Okay. Well, anyway, I had a little watch before I realized there was 2049 of these films, and my main complaint is it is far too orange. It is far too orange. And who is Ryan Gooseman? Who is he? I've never heard of him. Who is Ryan Gooseman? I'm scared. Next, from our sound engineer, we have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which he says he enjoys the animation and it has a very unique art style and a good message at the core of the film. Now, really my main complaint with just Spider-Man, this film, any Spider-Man product or paraphernalia in general, is that he's been around since 1962, and I got bored of him in 1963. I mean, move on, Stan Lee. I mean, good Lord. Anyway, next, from our director, we have the film Poseidon, who is apparently directing films now, and not the god of the sea. Never mind. And she says it is a gripping film that builds tension very well. Now, I did have a little watch of Poseidon, and did you notice, dear viewers, the ship, it was going along, and then it sort of didn't, and it was... I've been on a ship before, at least 3 times in my life, and they don't do that. They're designed to float and go along, and they don't... Anyway, and finally, from our cameraman, we have Scott Pilgrim versus the World. The World? Okay, doesn't seem a very likely fight, but... Anyway, he says there is good comedy, and the editing is amazing, and there are lots of fun visuals throughout the film. Now, I did have a little look. I only got about 20 or so minutes in before I had to stop to retch and vomit everywhere. It was horrible. Anyway, and everyone in this film seems far too happy. They haven't been crushed down enough by life. That is what makes good films. And now we come to my choice. Such a masterwork of filmic genius, indisputably the biggest film ever made. I am, of course, talking about Santa with Muscles, the shining cherry in Hulk Hogan's illustrious film career. Such an intricate and cerebral narrative weaved by director John Malowski that reflects upon us humans as a species and our impact on the world. It asks the big questions, such as who is Santa and why does he have muscles? It pits our thick Saint Nick against the most prominent threat of the modern era. Science! It is a stark reminder as to why we, the last few good filmmakers, must never back down, never stop fighting for big films to be the ones that win awards, and we must, most importantly, never sit down. Well, I do believe we've run out of time. I hope you'll join me next week, where you'll be subjected to yet more of my unhinged ramblings, as has been deemed by certain boards of censorship, which will no doubt benefit you more than most of the other drivel you see on the televised vision these days. Sit down.